Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week of pro wrestling news right here on Pro Wrestling Tonight on IndieQuebec.com. It's the Prez once again with my co-host, magnificent Drey Breeze. How you doing, Drey?
What's up? I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's been a pretty cool week of wrestling. It feels like stuff has like cooled down a bit.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. We won't go too much into WWE. At WWE, I find they've done like a weird thing. The whole focus of the storyline is now on the tag teams. Like the main
yeah,
storyline is the Usos against Orton and Riddle.
yeah. Out of nowhere.
Yeah. And yeah. So it's like WWE, they've like slowed stuff down. They really like peaked at WrestleMania, but like they're not bringing back Austin every week on TV. They're not bringing back McMahon every week on, well, he's been around, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they've pretty much centered it around, like you said, the tag team competition and Owens. A lot of Kevin Owens. The rebranding of, well, his new name is Ezekiel of
Yeah,
what
that's
was?
pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it is. I find he looks exactly like Eli Drake. He's like a
He does look
spitting
like him.
image of Eli Drake, like years ago, a few years ago. But yeah, that's pretty funny. And then of course they're pushing Cody. Like
Yeah. Which I find it's been hit and miss. It's been okay. Some of his promos. I think the fans are going to end up turning on him.
yeah, after a while they'll probably get fed up of him. Yeah,
If
unfortunately.
he brings in Brandy, it's going to be instant for sure.
instant heat.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so we'll get into Dynamite. It was coming from Pittsburgh this week. They do
Yeah.
they do Pittsburgh pretty often.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do. They have a few Brett Bakers from there, but I think somebody else on the roster's from there too. Hey, Kurt Angle and Shane Douglas are from
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
exactly. Bruno
Definitely
Sammartino lived there.
the city of champions,
Yeah. No, yeah,
like they call it.
definitely a great wrestling city. It's cool that they go I mean, I wish they'd come to Montreal or at least Toronto or at least some Canadian city, but it's cool that they build up these cities. Like each city has a bit of a different vibe to their shows,
Yeah, they
which
do.
is
They
cool.
do. They do. Yeah.
So yeah, first match start off CM Punk against Dustin Rhodes. This was like a slower match to start off the show, but it was cool. It reminded me of like a old school WWF 1995 style match in the
Yeah,
pace.
it was. It was. It was. Well, because I mean, it's the natural. The man's been wrestling for years. He has his way of wrestling. You know what I mean? He's old
Yeah,
school wrestler. He's good with gimmicks and stuff, but his wrestling style, Dustin, is very old school. Like he's not a high flyer. He's a little bit of a brawler. He's got a few moves in his arsenal, but of course he's slowed down. So, I mean, yeah.
no, for
So
sure.
yeah, it
Yeah,
had a
there was like
WWE
some
vibe.
points that I started to find the match slow, but then as it went on, I was like, okay, this is what they're going for. They're going for like a slower pace match. But like
Yeah,
it was decent. It was decent. At like by the end of the match, I actually got into it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't turn the channel, so
No, there you go. Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was a
So it's
good match.
weird. Like, I don't know what Dustin's going to end up doing going forward here. Is he going to go back and gold dust for like a 10th time or
I
stay
don't
with
know.
AEW?
I mean, he has been out of the company at other times in his career where he just got fed up and left and went. He was in TNA for a while. He went back to
He did
WCW for a
multiple
while.
runs in like multiple companies for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he does what he. I mean, he stays where he wants to stay till he feels like he's not welcome anymore, and then he picks up his bag and he goes. You know,
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
He's a journeyman. He's a champion. He's an experienced dude. He's a teacher. He's a booker. He could do a lot of stuff. Like he's any company that would have Dustin at his age now is a valuable asset. So
Oh, for sure. I don't see him going back to WWE. They don't have any guys
no,
nearly his age on the roster. I don't. No, they don't.
no, exactly. So And on top of it, like I said, I think he's probably doing a lot more than we think.
Yeah,
He's not
backstage work, and I think maybe training.
exactly. Yeah, and stuff like that. So I think he's happy there. There's other people there that he knows. It's not because his brother's gone that he's, you know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah, he's been wrestling long before his brother came along. So
exactly. So yeah,
yeah, so so then we get Hangman showing up kind of like in passing as Punk's leaving. So it looks like we're gonna have Punk Hangman. I guess it's inevitable. I don't see Punk losing. Well, maybe, but I mean, maybe he'll win the rematch, you know. I see
I
that
mean,
belt being around his waist pretty soon.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, how long can you deny the guy?
No,
I
right.
mean, because the problem with AEW is they say that they take account for the you know your overall standings, you know, your wins and losses
Yeah,
column.
yeah. The guy deserves a title shot if we're going by the
He's at a title shot, you know what I'm saying? He's there, so
yeah.
what you're gonna do, you're gonna have to. I think the build up is probably gonna be something at towards the end of the summer, in my opinion. So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, and they announced some big stuff. We'll get into that a bit later in the
yeah,
show.
yes, they
But yeah,
did, yeah,
so yeah, so Wardlow, we see him show up, and he has to be handcuffed and everything while he's at the building. They're still
I
building
love,
up this whole gimmick, this whole character of him being like persecuted basically by MJF. It's great.
yeah, it's great. It's old school, you know, the guy with the security around him.
Yeah, yeah, it has like a bit of a Goldberg vibe, not totally,
Yeah,
just enough to
exactly.
like be cool, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I like this stuff. Like, you
Yeah,
know, because I haven't seen it in a while. I kind of like this stuff. You know, this the 1990s backstage storyline type of storylines, you know? Like
yeah,
it's cool, you know? Yeah. So it's got a good I like this. I like this Wardlow thing. I like what they're doing with it.
yeah, definitely one of the better feuds in all of wrestling right now. One of the more interesting things going on. And like that
Yeah.
just shows MJF, he's such a good talent. Like all his feuds are always like super interesting, and he doesn't even need the title to be like involved, you know?
He does it. He doesn't. He's classic heel, man. He's so good. Like even at the doing small things, little things, like you know what I mean. He the annoying of the crowd, like staying in character and telling people to piss off. Like it's great. It
Yeah,
gives us so much more attention, which is good for whoever is the face
for
in a
sure.
feud
Anyone
with
who's feuding with him gets like so loved, like instantly.
Solo. Exactly, exactly. And we're seeing it with Wardlow. I mean,
Yeah,
he
definitely.
is, you know,
Yeah,
next
and I
level
mean, I
shit.
think it was a pretty predictable angle too. And like people saw this coming and they're still really into it. Usually when people see stuff coming, they're like, well, I saw this coming, so I'm not that into it, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
working really good. Yeah. So we'll see him wrestling later on. We'll talk about that a bit later. So we got Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, and John Moxley taking on Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty. Lee Moriarty was from Pittsburgh.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I knew they had somebody else on the roster from Pittsburgh. I just could the name wasn't coming, you know. So yeah,
And it's
exactly. You
like
know what?
all the young guys in this did good, but you could really tell like Danielson and Moxley are really like,
Another level above. But you
yeah,
know
and they're
what?
like
You know,
really like the ring generals. They're really like, for sure, they're the ones who plan the match. For sure, they're the ones who, you know,
oh yeah, they said it. They said, now listen, kid.
yeah,
You
you're
wonder
gonna do
if that
this, you're gonna do this.
that exactly. This is how you're gonna do it. We're gonna do this, guy. It's gonna be good. You're gonna get a spot here. I'm gonna let you do this. You can do that. You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. And it was good. And you know what? They are really, really pushing these four youngsters. These four
yeah.
guys are on every week.
Now and yeah, now Brock Anderson is now with his dad. That's just gonna be their
Yeah,
gimmick. That's fine,
exactly. Well,
I
that's what it
guess.
should be in a way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Unless you plan on creating a storyline of like there's something wrong between them, you know, like I hate you, dad, and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Type
like
thing. Like
yeah.
it's stupid to have two guys in the same company that are father and son and they're not together.
As if they wouldn't like be together. Like, yeah.
exactly, in real life. You know what I'm saying? Your dad would be in your locker room every fucking minute. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Like, no, yeah, so, but hey, hats off. They're pushing these three kids, man. And Dante Martin can do some crazy, crazy shit.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know, like at one point his brother came back, but he wasn't in this. But like that's fine, I guess, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey,
So yeah,
sometimes
they're
the out.
they're they're finding spots for guys, even if they have this crazy roster, crazy huge roster, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even if they're getting their ass handed to them
Yeah,
every
but
week,
these
they're
guys, that's
still on
probably like,
TV, and the people are cheering when they come out. So, these guys are getting their ass handed to them every week, but they're getting TV time. You know what I'm
and they're
saying? Like,
somewhat proving themselves, like to the fans, you know. Um, yeah, like they're kind of doing that right, I would say.
yeah, they are. They are. Because these guys, they have spots. It's not like back in the day when per old Barry Horowitz, before they actually gave the fans asked it so much for him to come over the jobber thing. These other guys, man, I remember guys getting beat like within a minute. He
Oh
did
yeah, for
nothing.
sure.
He did no wrestling move whatsoever but throw a punch.
Yeah,
At least these guys that are losing, you know what I'm saying? In a way, they're still getting over because they have spots like these. The veterans now are letting them do 360 flips on them outside of
yeah.
the ring. Like it's your time to shine. You know what I'm saying? Build
And
up
they're
your character.
getting to wrestle like these top names. I mean, they're not gonna get a win over like Danielson or Moxley, but they're in
But
there,
they'll
they're
make it
learning,
look good. Exactly.
and
And they'll
like yeah,
make it look
they
good,
don't look bad. They don't look bad on
No, not at
TV.
all. Not at all. Not at all. This was a good match, man. It
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I still don't understand the goal of having three guys in the same club and not come out together.
Yeah, I know. It's like a long, like weird
It's
entrance. They need to
it's
figure something out.
it's like if you had the Bullet Club and then it went Bullet Club, but every single guy had their own Bullet Club
Yeah.
entrance,
No,
and then
exactly.
it's like, okay, are you together or are you separate? Like you don't like, I don't know. How do you have each other's back if
If
he's
you're
all
not
the way
even
on this
like,
side of the
especially
building?
Moxley, he's coming out from like
Yeah,
the other side of the arena. Like, did what? Is he like not
like
even
make
like
them.
chilling with you guys? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like make them all come out with Moxley.
for
Like, you know
sure.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Something
You
like
know,
that for sure.
yeah, that would be the best thing to do. I would say, and they should have the music for the club.
Yeah. As
You
much as
know,
they love that fucking Wild Thing song.
oh Jesus Christ. Yeah,
Like, are we in a bar in like 1989?
exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. Feels like I'm
Yeah.
in a bar in Boston
There you
during the
go.
baseball
Wild
playoff.
Thing.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's changed. You need to change that. Holy fuck, it's a headache, and it takes them so long. You actually hear the whole damn
No, yeah,
song.
really.
You
I
know?
know. No,
Yeah,
definitely. They gotta figure something out. It's a minor problem, but it could turn into a major problem if they don't figure something out.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
then
So
we got Tony Khan with his major announcement. He brings out the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Amori-san, and then Adam Cole interrupts them and he's like, "No, I'm going to make this announcement instead." And um, basically, yeah, they're going to have a pay-per-view June 26th, The Forbidden Door, New Japan, AEW. And I think it probably will be cool, but this also reminds me, I hope it's not like Starcade 95, which was
oh
New Japan
Jesus,
against WCW,
that's what
and
it
it was
was.
just fucking boring as hell.
It was, and to me, it's like I'm gonna sound like such a hater, but like I love AEW. That's not what I'm saying, and I love Impact, but I feel like he's just doing the same thing they're doing a month later but with more money behind it. So the people are going, oh, and then I'm like, it's like he's announcing, oh, Ishii, and it's like, yeah, he was on Impact 2 weeks ago, and he's gonna
And
be
everyone's
there
like, whoa, it's
Saturday.
like, yeah, you could have, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You could have saw him against Eddie Edwards 2 weeks ago, and you could see him against Jonah Saturday. The same Ishii. And when he was against Eddie Edwards, let me tell you something, the crowd went mild. Mild. It's like either they didn't know who the fuck he was, a lot of people that were there, or it was like it took a long time. And then at the end, the people really got into it. It took so long for it to go, for the people to react, you know? And I was just like, so when he goes and they say, it's going to be me against the legendary Ishii, I was like, okay, you had the
Yeah.
whole New Japan roster. Like, I can understand if they don't want to fly their best guy out to Impact. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if they're still testing the waters with Impact and it's like, oh, okay, you know, we've got the TV show on the same channel as them. You know, with their chill, they let us use the Good Brothers, they let us use Chris Bay, you know, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So we'll let them use Ishii, but Okada's not there.
No, yeah, Okada's not there. Tanahashi's
Okada's
not there.
Tanahashi's not at the fucking pay-per-view tomorrow night. It's Ishii.
Yeah.
And before Ishii, it was what's his name that was on last week? He's fucking crazy, but I love the guy.
The
He
old
had the
guy.
match with the old guy that was
He
against
was the
Samoa Joe.
ROH TV champion.
Yeah,
like
that was
2
it. That was
seconds.
exactly. Fuck, not Masada. Masawa. Oh, God, they must be so insulted right now if they were listening.
Minoru Suzuki.
Minoru Suzuki, exactly. Yeah. Fucking crazy dude, man. That
they
match
brought
with
him
Samoa
in.
Joe.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
wrestled
and they
Joe Doring. That was
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? And then they just do the same thing a month later.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like,
And then it's
people
suddenly
should
it's
be
a big
watching
event.
Impact, clearly.
And it's like, oh, it's such a big event. It's not a fucking big event. He's basically copying the other company.
Yeah.
He's basically doing it. Let's do the same goddamn thing. Oh, and let's bring Jay White. Oh, he's been in fucking Impact for 3 months now, just down the road from you. It's not a surprise.
Yeah, really.
We know he's there, bro. Now, I would be surprised if the whole goddamn Bullet Club showed up. Every single member. Now, surprise me.
Or Okada.
You know? Or Okada. Or Tanahashi. You know what I'm saying? Or Evil. Or any of the fucking cool ones that we actually want to fucking
seen, basically. Yeah.
The one that we want to see. Shit, bring back Sonata.
Yeah.
Yo, he was good in Impact. And the new Sonata, have you seen Sonata's character now?
Yeah,
like, he's fucking crazy. He's nuts. How are you not bringing Sonata?
I can't wait to see who they bring, but like, I really hope, I think it's going to go either 2 ways, and I don't think either one is good. Like, either they split each match kind of like down the middle, and there's a bunch of like DQs and like count outs and shit like that. Or like what happened when New Japan had a deal with Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor guys just all basically got destroyed the whole time by New Japan guys.
You know, it has to be 50-50. You have to pick.
It's got to be interesting. There's got to be something cool that happens.
Exactly. And that's what I want to see. And when is the date?
Or
exactly. When is the date of it? Did you
June 26th?
June 26th.
I want to see Omega show back up there.
He will. Omega's going to show up, and the Good Brothers are going to show up, and the Good Brothers are going to sign with AEW because their contract ends in July.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. That could make a lot of sense.
That's that's probably what's going to happen. I see it happening anyway because he's buying everybody like their toys. He's a kid in a toy store. That's what he is right now. Like, I like AEW. I liked more what they were doing 2 years ago in terms of talent. Now he's just procuring everything he can procure.
It's going a bit overboard for sure. Like,
it's just going overboard, bro. You've got a roster that's fire.
Like you're really gonna hire like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, and Jeff Hardy within like 4 months.
You know what I'm saying? It's
like no one ever thought no one thought he would go to this extent,
No, it is. And then he's like, oh, but I've got Ring of Honor now too.
Yeah, and then he buys Ring of Honor. It's like this. He hasn't like shown how like the true full extent of like his baller his baller ways, like at first it was
Exactly.
like, fuck, this guy's rich, but now it's like, man, this guy just doesn't care about wasting money, man. Like,
No, he doesn't. It's his toy. That's what I'm saying. I see it. He's different from Vince McMahon as to in Vince McMahon is like very like calculating.
well,
You know
him
what I'm
and
saying?
yeah, because like the ratings aren't even going up. Like, there's nothing to justify like investing more, investing more, investing more when
No,
like
exactly, exactly.
the
And
ratings are
and when
still
I
the same.
yeah, exactly. And like the guy said, they used to say like Tony Khan is like a total wrestling nerd. He's like a wrestling geek. So basically, right now, what it is his dad gave him permission because they are making money. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So his dad's like, okay. He's like, shit, he's making money, so why not? There you go, son, have fun. And he's like, now he's like, yes, this is my Star Wars character collection. But now he's just collecting wrestlers.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so now I'm
like
gonna, he's like,
I heard it calculated like in terms of how much money Tony Khan has in the bank and compared to what he's spent on AEW, like that would be like the average person spending like $100. Like the money he spent on it is a shitload to us, but like this guy is like he's next level rich.
yeah, he is. And that's the thing. Wrestlers aren't like football players. Most of them don't make millions. They make six figures, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
whatnot over a
Like
whole
if you're
year.
like in a decent if you're in a pro league, not like the indie guys, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no. If you're in the pro league, like most of those guys, I'm not saying some of them might start laughing at me and say, bitch, I've got $1.7 million contract. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
I
there are
don't
some
know.
who
But
make more, of course, but
but I'm saying let's just say, for example, let's just name a guy out of there that's got a semi big name, Jay Lethal. Like Jay Lethal is probably making 500,000.
yeah, that's what I
I
was
don't
gonna say
think,
too, easily.
I don't think they're giving him 1 million. Maybe. I hope they
Probably
would.
not, hopefully for him, but I don't think so.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I like the guy. I hope he does get $1 million contract. He's worth it. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many people there. Like he's probably paid, I would say 500,000. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
would say
saying?
that sounds about right. But they have
So
so
if
many
you're,
guys, add all those guys up. Jay Lethal is like an afterthought on some of these shows.
you know what I'm saying? So add all these guys up, he's probably got a salary of about 20 to $25 million right now, a roster. That's maybe 30. Because there are a few millionaires in there. You know what I'm saying?
Look, if you're
Definitely.
making like 500 grand a year, basically that's like some weeks he's getting paid 10 grand for a match that's like on dark. How the fuck does that like make sense?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
And
I
that's
don't
all
know
he
how they
does. They
work.
don't have house shows or anything. So
No, exactly. On top of it. So you know what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm like, fuck, he's got like 30 million. But to him, $30 million. I mean, if you've got 7, 8, 10 billion, $20 billion in your bank account, what the fuck is $30 million
yeah,
to you?
that's it. It
What
sounds
the fuck
absurd
is
to
a
say, but
hundred
it's so
million dollars?
true.
You know what I'm saying? But then you have to say to yourself, to him, what is $100 million? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say he doesn't buy Impact within the next 2 years? Just
Yeah,
buy it. Say
could
like,
buy the
fuck it,
whole
I
TV
like it.
channel and
Just
everything
buy
to
it.
go with it.
And then he's like, hey, I own a conglomerate of wrestling companies. We are AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, whatever other fucking company he decides to buy after that. You
I
know what I'm
thought,
saying?
actually, I thought his announcement was going to be that they're starting a streaming service, like a on-demand streaming service with the Ring of Honor old library and like all the AEW up to now. But I guess not.
No, no, he's
Not yet, but I'm sure that's got to be coming at some point. Like they are going to generate more revenue. Like the video game's eventually going to come out. They're going to have like some kind of streaming service. How many people are going to sign up to that? We don't know, but they're
oh,
going to
probably
generate
tons.
more.
A few million will sign up for sure. Like worldwide, they'll have a few million people that'll download that app and
Oh
sign
yeah,
up.
for sure, for sure.
You
Like
know,
it'll generate revenue for sure.
for time, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
So
just that would pay the salary of the roster.
there you go. That's it. So
Just
they're
that.
not done building yet,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
thank God the guy has like enough money to like buffer this zone because like there's no way they're making money at this point. Anyone can see that. There's no way that a TV show getting like 1 million viewers can afford to pay this roster. Just the roster,
Hell no.
like, makes no
Hell
sense.
no. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense, which is why at first the roster a couple of years ago made sense because they had like maybe
One
10.
pretty paid guy, Jericho, you know.
Yeah, they had Jericho and Cody Rhodes. You were like, okay, those are the two biggest. And then they had guys that you knew were making money, like
Yeah, the
Omega,
Bucks,
the
Omega.
Buck. You know what I'm saying? You had a few guys in there. Pentagon, you knew that he was making a
Yeah,
couple hundred, a couple 100,000. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple guys that you were there, you were like, yeah, these guys are making
they got a
money.
good deal. Yeah.
They got some good guys, and then they had all the kids, and you're like, okay, I don't know this guy. This is cool. Who does he? Okay, so this guy's friend. Okay, cool. I mean, think of it. Had they had the roster today, would there ever have been as many Orange Cassidy matches as there has been?
No, we
Think of
haven't
that.
seen. That's one guy who we haven't seen a lot of. I would say, like, we've seen him
Recently,
here and there, but not much at all.
had he started with the roster he has today, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson,
He would have
Moxley,
been like
you know,
a little comedy five
he would
seconds
have been
thing, like
exact
Danhausen.
exactly where he is right now,
Yeah.
with his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, like at one point the guy was like one of their most over and main eventing stars, you know?
Exactly. And then Darby Allen. Think of Darby Allen. Darby Allen's made a name for himself now because he got a lot of TV time. Had all these guys been there back then, would Darby Allen have been so big?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like that, like we haven't seen them sign some indie guy and right away he comes in and like he's like in the top guys. Well, maybe Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia in 2.0. But then again, 2.0 were on
2.0 is coming off
NXT.
of NXT. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they had been in a big, but they weren't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. They didn't get a
So
big push there or anything.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So most of these guys, they haven't made stars. I mean, they're trying to push,
They used to try more. Now they're really relying on
big names.
these
Now
big
it's like,
names.
yeah. Now it's like, who can we bring in that's gonna hit? That's gonna give a pop
Spiker
on social
rating.
media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right away, give a spike for that week that he shows up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Hopefully
yeah,
they spread out the roster a bit to ROH. But yeah, so we'll move on with the show here. Butcher against Wardlow, two big dudes. Wardlow is awesome, as we were saying. Butcher's awesome too, you know. It's cool that he gets some spotlight. That's another guy, like we've said in the past couple of weeks, like we haven't seen him around. When we have seen him around, it's been like bizarre, not making
yeah,
sense. But yeah, he gets a good shot here against Wardlow. Wardlow beats him. And
good
yeah,
match.
it makes Wardlow look good, you know, beating a big
Yeah, because it
guy.
was a big guy beating a big guy. So yeah, it was good. It was a good match. And MJF throwing popcorn on people. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, MJF
okay,
is like classic heel during this whole
he's
thing.
just raining popcorn on the fans. I was just like, that's the best. The people kept getting louder. At first it was a few, then he just got a little ooh.
Yeah, it
And
would
then
be
when he
pretty
started
annoying to
just
get
like,
popcorn thrown at you. Like, who wants
yo,
greasy
that
ass
shit,
popcorn in their face?
yeah,
Like,
and
no.
it's sticky. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
just throwing that shit on people. I was like, I fucking love this. I love this. And they're cursing. I was like, I fucking love this. And there's a kid in the front row, like a baby. My girlfriend goes, there's a baby in the front row. I was like, hell yeah. And he said, fuck. Woo! On TV.
That kid's gonna be a wrestling fan for life. He's gonna remember
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Then so then next we had a really awesome match. O'Reilly against Jungle Boy in the Owen Hart tournament, the Memorial Tournament. O'Reilly, there's another guy, like they give him a singles match here, and
You look great. Oops,
he looked
sorry.
really good. Yeah, like this was the O'Reilly that I remember, and I think he came out to his old ROH theme song.
Yeah, and they wrote ROH, former Ring of Honor champion. They're giving him props and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I like that. I
I
followed
like
his
that too.
whole evolution like through Ring of Honor, when he was like a young boy with Davey Richards and all that, and
Man,
Always was a
he's
big fan of Kyle O'Reilly.
great wrestler.
I
Respect.
mean, he's a guy that like, is there enough space at the top for him to ever like get near the main event picture?
Not
Only
unless
time
it's
will
tag.
tell. Like,
Not unless it's tag team. I think the highest they belt that they would put on him would probably be the TNT TV title, the TV title, basically.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like now, with the Ring of Honor deal, maybe it would be good for him. But like, does he want to go back to Ring of Honor? How
Oh,
epic are
yeah,
they going to
he's done
make
it
Ring of
all.
Honor?
Like he's done it all. But then again, so has Joe, and Joe's walking around with the Ring of Honor TV title. So
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
That's it. So then we get Hook against Anthony Henry. Hook's debut on Dynamite. I thought he did great. The fans
I did
love him.
too.
He has like an aura, you know?
He does. He does. He looks like a fucking cartoon character. So you know, what I mean? He's a manga character. So all these girls love mangas.
Yeah.
They love their Japanese cartoons, and he looks like a little Japanese cartoon, so they're all happy, and he knows that. He comes out there looking like a street fighter character, see, with the boxing pants, the boxing shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like his taped up hands, taped up
That's the
feet, and
thing. You
shit.
could
Like,
tell that, and I think that like people could learn from this. You could tell that he like thought out. All it takes is like think out like your character, think out your entrance, think out what you're gonna do before you get in there, and then just like only act like that. Don't act like a normal guy in the ring. Don't act like his like, you know what I mean?
yeah, you have to have a confident character. You know what I mean? Like there has to be something about your character that people are gonna be like, oh. I mean, look at Hook. He's not big. He's like
No.
Jungle Boy. He's like one of those guys that's still growing. You know, he looks
Yeah.
like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? And
And
you're
he's
like,
getting
okay,
Hook's gonna kill you chance, you know?
you
It's
know what
not
I'm
Goldberg
saying?
out here. It's not freaking Samoa
No,
Joe.
exactly. But he does like he's Division 1 judo champion, and Jim Ross and all that say Judo 1 Division 1 champion. Okay, okay, we got it. The motherfucker's real.
Has
You know
his
what I'm
son.
saying?
Just
Like
has his son is like hard.
just
It's a
Taz's
hard.
son is enough. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's Taz's son. And then have him do one suplex, and that'll be like, oh yeah, he could kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. Hook is good. Hey, and hats off to Anthony Henry. It was pretty
Yeah,
good
he's
to see
pretty
him
good
on
too,
TV.
man. Like put a good
Man,
effort
like
in.
I watched him in the NWA like was it 10 years ago?
Wow.
Yeah, 10 years ago, this guy was in the NWA, man. Like
Busting his
old
ass.
NWA, busting his ass in an unorganized NWA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fucking
Working
good.
working it
Kudos to
out, man.
Anthony Henry. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, man, I always like to see that too. I always like to recognize these guys like, damn, he's still around and like fuck, he's doing good. That's awesome, you know?
that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. So then we get Sammy Guevara promo with Dan Lambert. This is one of the better parts of the show, like probably the best
man,
promo part of the show.
it
Because
really
the
was.
fans have totally turned on Sammy. I think he's like the first AEW character like wrestler to get the wrong reaction. Because
Yeah,
normally the fans like they're kind of like polite enough, I would say, to like give the heels heat or to cheer the good guys. Because like the fans of AEW, you can tell that these people like they're the ones on the internet who like, and they're just like anyone who says anything against AEW, they shit on you right away. Like
exactly.
these people love this shit. They don't criticize almost anything that the product is, and they like they're determined for it to succeed.
Yeah,
But that
they're
being said, like they're shitting on Sammy after this build up to make him like this fucking baby face. They're taking Dan Lambert's side, who's like so heel. He has like no redeeming factors. I mean, I
no.
love him. I've always been a fan, but no,
I
I
love
just love
Dan
how this is
Lambert.
turned around. It's hilarious.
I love Dan Lambert. I think he's one of the most wittiest. He's the wittiest motherfucker on a microphone.
And he
Like he
know, yeah,
says stuff
like
like,
he can think about what to say, but not only is he quick-witted, but he knows like where to draw the line to not like get kicked off TV or say something too controversial, but he goes right like above the line, you know?
Yeah, like right there to where, yeah, what is it he said at a point? Everybody went, oh, like everybody went,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, he's gonna Scorpio Sky is gonna give you the pounding that Ty Conti wishes you could, or something like that.
Yes.
And the whole
Yes.
crowd's just like, oh.
Oh. Because
That's
everybody in
straight
the
up
crowd
something. Yeah,
was
because
like,
like if you say that to someone in real life, there's no way the
that's a
guy's not
fight.
like swinging at you, man.
That's a fight. That's a
For
fight.
sure.
That's a fight. But everybody probably knew. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Scorpio
yeah, yeah.
Sky. Everybody was like, yeah, Scorpio Sky could probably pound her better than Sammy. He looks like a little boy. You know what I mean? And Scorpio Sky looks like a man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like he's just big and buff and fucking, what can
From
you say?
LA.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, well, of course, I think people are jealous of Sammy
Yeah,
and
and
they're just,
like having a
uh,
hot girl valet is always more of a heel thing. And I mean, when it's a face, it very rarely works. Like look at
yeah,
Wild Man Mark Mero.
you know what I'm saying? It usually turns. It does. It turns on you,
Yeah, because like it or
especially
not, the guys are somewhat jealous. They want to fuck Ty Conti more than they want to
exactly,
cheer Sammy Guevara.
exactly. It's terrible that it's like that, but it's like that.
It's human
And I think
nature, kind of.
I also think it's yeah, but people don't get that with Killer Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux though.
Because Killer Cross is like alpha male.
Yeah, because Killer Cross, everybody knows will kill you. He
Yeah,
will
if
as soon
you're like
as they
alpha
say,
male like that, almost like Macho Man too. Like even when he was with Elizabeth as a face,
yeah,
it worked.
that's
But
true.
Sammy, he looks too much like a little kid.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Has to. Yo, by the way, congratulations to Killer Cross and to Scarlet Bordeaux. They got married in Alaska yesterday, or was it over the weekend? And
That's good, man. They deserve
c- yeah,
good
congratulations. They
stuff.
took some beautiful pictures and shit,
I
and
want to see
nothing
them
but the
show up
best.
somewhere.
Oh, for sure. You know what I'm saying? This is who Tony Khan should sign. Like, if you're gonna waste your money,
Yeah,
have
really.
them.
Yeah.
Like, because in my life, I've never seen a company drop the ball with two people like the WWE did with them.
This guy
Like,
was made for main event WWE, WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
even her, like,
Sure,
she
sure.
is, I mean, she's got the charisma fucking like out of the roof. She
Yeah,
got
he
Impact a
plays her
million
character
views
so
on
well.
YouTube. Like
Yeah,
she got a million views on YouTube with
that's
Impact.
huge.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think she could do to your media?
Yeah.
You
No,
know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
And they seem
And
like professional and everything. Like they WWE, they definitely dropped the ball there for sure, man. And even when they brought him to Raw, they gave him this stupid outfit. Like, come on.
somebody didn't like him. Somebody in there just didn't like him. You've got that guy that works in creative that didn't like him. And it could have been
Yeah.
somebody that we know, like a wrestler that we know that has power over there. Somebody like Road Dogg, who knows? Like, I don't know if he was there at the time this happened. I think he got fired maybe before that. I'm not sure. Maybe Bruce Pritchard. Somebody there didn't like Cross.
Or it could
And
be
that's,
like, I mean, could be many weird different reasons, but like I was just thinking, like, okay, say a writer is like he's for some reason watching He-Man and he's like, you should have a He-Man-ish like kind of guy, like, and then he's just like Killer Cross, like it just picks him,
yeah, like
like
random, I mean,
that's it. Like
fuck,
some guys you can like attribute like weird looks or gimmicks. They should have just kept him like with his NXT character.
should have just kept him with where she came out and says
Yeah,
bow
with the
down to the
dragon
Canadian.
flying. I'm sure that was Triple H's doing with his fucking
You know what I'm
Lord of the
saying? Like,
Rings or no, he's more of a Game of Thrones fan for sure, Triple H.
like the guy comes to you with a gimmick that he's used in every federation, and it's TikTok. Like,
No, for
I
real.
I, I don't get how it writes itself. It
He
writes
was even
itself.
honestly more awesome when he was in like MLW and Impact, when it was like just the fucking like killer guy, killer
That's
cross.
it. They used to, and he was with Austin Aries and Moose. He was walking around. Even before that, when he was, I remember in Impact at one point, Tommy Dreamer was writing his shit for him, and they were really pushing the envelope. At one point, he was waterboarding Sandman in a closet. He had a fucking shirt over Sandman tied to a chair, and he was fucking throwing water in his face and choking him, like drowning him
Yeah, like
live
it's
on
like
television.
illegal.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just there like, oh
Yeah,
my
see, like
God.
they should go more that way with him,
You know what I'm saying? Like this guy's gold. He's gold.
especially
He
like
doesn't
how big he is. Make him crazy doing shit like that. You got a fucking main eventer right there.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't. So let's go back to Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. That's what it is. It's just jealousy and the fact that the relationship is in your face all the time, talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
kissing, boo, boo. Somebody needs to tell him, unless you want to be a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like to have her smile and say hi to people, that's more babyface. To have you kissing and smooching with her all the time, that's heel. That's
Yeah.
putting it in every dude's face that you can kiss her right now. She's gonna put her tongue down my throat, not down you nerd, you Mark, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
At
all
this
that's
point,
missing.
like they might as well kind of just turn him back heel. He's
Yeah,
better heel kind of, but he does less awesome high flying. That's
yeah,
the only thing.
exactly.
When he's heel, he doesn't do the craziness,
No, he doesn't.
which
He
is
doesn't.
smart. You can't really do that much high flying when you're heel. But
No,
yeah, so
no.
we're gonna get a ladder match next week for the
It
TNT
should be
title.
fucking tight. That should be that. I'm psyched up to see that.
Yeah,
If it's Sammy Guevara and there's ladders
it's
involved,
always cool.
he's going to hurt himself somehow. Like he's gonna find a way to do something where I'm just gonna be going. But the match is good. You don't have to do this spot. Bang.
I
Oh
can't
my
be
god.
the only one thinking this, but I can't wait to see. They got to do a match somehow with him with the Hardy Boys with a ladder match somehow.
That would be
Eventually.
crazy. That no, or just Jeff.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah,
Him versus Jeff versus Darby Allin for
we
the
don't need Matt
TNT
Hardy killing
TV
himself
title.
again. Almost.
No, we don't. We don't. Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. That in a ladder match. That
That'd be
is a
like
paper.
yeah.
That is a
Pay-per-view.
pay-per-view. That's a pay-per-view. See, I just wrote a pay-per-view for them. Thank you. Where's my money, Tony Khan? Since you're just giving money
Just giving
away.
it out. Yeah, we're Canadian. You can just pay us in Canadian
Yeah,
money.
you
It's
can
less.
you can give it to me in Canadian. You'll save money.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take
it.
the payment.
So then we
You know.
got Daniel Carmella against Britt Baker, who of course is super over in Britsburg. And she's
Yeah.
accompanied by two members of the Steelers, one of them being Najee Harris, who's like a freaking superstar.
And Pat Vermouth, man.
Yeah. So how awesome
I'm a
is that?
Steelers
Like,
fan, so I hate
there you
Britt
go.
Baker.
That's it. I'm not that big of a Raiders fan. I do like a couple guys on their team.
I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a Penguins fan, and unfortunately, I'm a Pirates fan.
They'll
So
turn it around one day.
yeah, that's what we keep saying.
At least they got sick merch, though. They really do.
They do. They have the best merch. The best merch, man. The best merch.
So, like, I guess it was pretty obvious Britt was gonna win this match, but it was cool. I like the whole I like the whole Pittsburgh like getting behind the city and shit like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And in my head, I was like, it's so easy for Tony Khan to do that, but I would have liked to have heard the telephone call because he's with the Jacksonville
That's
Jaguars.
it. Can I get a personal appearance from like?
Can I get
guys?
an appearance from the guys on the team? Well, I don't know, Tony. That'll cost you a 7th round draft pick to have my boys on your TV show. That's what I would have said. Yeah, and I'll take your linebacker there. What's his name? Yeah, give me that guy, and you can have the guys on TV.
I can't wait to see Tony Khan making the fucking first round, first overall pick again this year in the NFL draft.
Yeah, he'll probably have a wrestler. It'll probably be Adam Cole.
Adam Cole,
baby.
They're like, what?
People be like, what? Yeah. So can't wait to see that. But this match was good, man. Yeah. I don't know who the fuck that other girl is. I've
Yeah,
never
but
seen her, but
she
she
did
was
good
pretty
for
good
like a unknown talent for sure.
at getting heat. She was really good at getting heat. I was like, oh, hey, this girl, they should push her more. Like that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, she's not that bad.
Yeah. So like
So
Britt was face here, but I don't think she's gonna always be face. It was just because it was in Pittsburgh. I think.
yeah, no, no, most probably just because it was in Pittsburgh. It's because it's her hometown.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly.
she's not gonna be a dick to the people in her
No,
hometown.
and she's like
So
so over and like I
yeah,
legit think she's like sells tickets, Like she
yeah.
moved some tickets in Pittsburgh.
Most probably. She went. I know that I have all of their Instagram and everything, and she was at the stadium with the Steelers.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was
She's
doing
always in the
stuff
games and stuff.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She threw some pitches at the baseball game, I think, if I
It can't be
remember.
that
Yeah,
big a town. She's probably like pretty known.
yeah,
Ish.
she is. I mean, it's a big city, but she's a big star. She's,
Yeah,
you
she's a
know what
pretty
I'm
big
saying?
star. Yeah.
So, for sure, they're. And she probably did some TV shows in the morning.
Yeah,
Come out
yeah. Doing the
tonight to
local,
see.
like how Kevin Owens does here when
Yeah,
Montreal
exactly.
in Montreal.
Yeah, she does that. She has the power to do that. So yeah, so overall that was good. I like the way she called out a bunch of girls, and now
Yeah,
she might stay face though because she called out Jade Cargill, who was totally fucking heel.
yeah, yeah.
So maybe
If she grabs that belt, that'll add some more credibility to that belt. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
yeah, I think she is going face because she was heel for a long time. Now
Yeah, but now
she's
the fans
lost
are like so behind her, even as a
exactly.
heel.
And now she lost the title. She left for a while. And that's what she even said when she came back. So, I'm back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We
and
hadn't
then
seen her for quite some time. True. Since
exactly.
losing the belt.
So this must be okay, let's make her a good guy. Or let's just see,
So yeah, maybe she
you know,
loses. Maybe she leaves Thunder Rosa alone, and she goes for the T
she's
what
going
is
for
it, the TBS title?
the TBS TV title or
That
whatnot.
bitch's
Yeah.
strap or whatever she calls it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so then we get our main event, a coffin match, Darby Allin against Andrade. And it turned out
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
It
A
was
lot of
awesome.
interference,
A
like
lot.
fighting in the crowd. Sting does some crazy dive. Sting's a
Okay.
madman. Sting's a madman.
Okay. Sting is awesome.
He
Okay.
really is.
Sting is this. Oh, my thumbs up. I'm already giving it this week, although there's a lot of people who deserve it. Thumbs up to Sting. My
Just
my two
pulls
thumbs
these.
up.
Like, how did WWE think this guy was done?
Man, I think do you think he has a chip on his shoulder? Can we get him on the show? Is there a way somebody call Stinger? Can we get Stinger on on the show? Let's
I
ask
think
him.
honestly, there's
Does
part
he
of
have
him
a
who's like, this is on TBS. Like, I've always wrestled on this channel. I need to like keep loyal to those like old school cable loving TBS people. Like when they see his
Yo,
face on TBS, they're like, this is the fucking wrestling I remember on this channel.
exactly. And then there's probably some people turning the TV on and seeing Sting
They're like,
on there
what,
again
Sting?
and going and saying something like, "Holy fuck, Sting's still on TV, man. He's been on TV for 40 years straight now. Like he literally has been on TV for 40 years. Do
Yeah.
people realize this? Sting has been on TV for 40 years. And I'll say one thing, I didn't know it was Sting in the crowd with the mask until, like I
Me
said,
neither. That was a great like fake.
the
out.
angle of the camera was perfect.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
you
he
weren't
was just
sure.
standing in the crowd like with a Darby Allin sign.
Yeah, exactly.
One of Private Party rips it up and then he takes off like a plastic like store-bought Sting mask and he has it's Sting under, starts brawling with them.
You could do that angle 20 times and not have it come out as good as they were fucking lucky that came out like that on live TV.
Yeah, it
That
really
was
did look good. It really did. It really was surprising.
Yeah,
Which is
you
weird because like it was like in hindsight, it's obvious Sting was gonna show up at some point. But yeah,
exactly.
they surprised me too. Yeah, I'll admit
And
that.
I was like, oh man, did they really just put, is that really Sting? That's what I said. I said, is that really Sting? And then he took the mask off and I was like, oh fuck, it really is him. That was pretty good. That's exactly how I said it. I
Yeah.
was like, shit, he made the whole match. The match was good, but when Sting got involved,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
His dive was insane, and yeah, like he's really like they're
he's
using him
cooking, huh?
well. They're protecting him somewhat, but like everything he's doing is coming out really good, and he's like doing way so risky things that he doesn't have to do. But I mean, he's awesome. He's just awesome. Like you said, he definitely deserves that thumbs up of the week.
Yeah,
So yeah, the inside of the door of the casket had like thumbtacks on it. At one point, the assistant comes down and tries to act like a tough guy, gets thrown into the tacks right away. I thought that
yeah.
was pretty awesome that he took that fall into the tacks.
Oh, and then he ripped his shirt off on top of it.
Yeah, yeah, he looked pretty. He's pretty hilarious.
He,
Like I'm
he
somewhat
was, he was
entertained by the assistant.
exactly. But the first thing I said to myself was, and when he pulled off, what was it? Did he do? He did a super kick, I think. Is it a super kick that he pulled off? He did a
Yeah, yeah,
move when
yeah.
he came,
He tried to,
and
or like a clothesline at least, or something. He
yeah,
tried
and I was
some
like,
offensive
holy
move.
fuck, he's actually a wrestler. I wonder
Yeah, yeah.
who
When
he
he took
was.
off his shirt, he was jacked. I didn't even think he was a wrestler either.
No, and in my head, I was like, holy fuck. So this whole time, Andrade's assistant is probably actually some dude that he's probably a wrestler. I'm just in my head,
Yeah,
I'm
that they
like,
paired him with. You're gonna be his assistant. He's like, how much do I
exactly.
get paid
So
for this? Cool.
yeah, so in my head, I'm like, fuck. So he must wear a mask usually. So in my
Yeah, he
head, I'm like,
could.
I wonder who he is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. He's not
So
just
and
the assistant.
no, exactly. And by the way, you gotta love what Andrade's look when he comes out with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
black mask and the suit. Man, I wish he wrestled the whole match dressed like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really
You
cool look.
know, with the black mask and the fucking suit, man. That is bomb ass, man.
I'm
For
glad
real. Well,
that
maybe,
he's getting a match here in the main event. You know.
he's getting pushed, man. He deserves to get pushed. I mean, he's
Yeah,
the perfect villain, man. He's got that aura, that cocky
he's good in the
Mexican
ring, and
warlord, fucking drug lord, fucking aura going for him. That's what he's got. Like the way he acts.
yeah.
Like I like that. I like
And
that.
them having him there is like, I mean, it doesn't mean for sure Charlotte's going to show up one day, but it doesn't hurt, you know?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
That
So
would be someone that would really turn a big like tide because the women's division in WWE, I'd still say, is stronger overall than AEW.
yeah, I'd say so too.
They are making
Yeah,
improvements, but
they are. Since they got Tony Storm, I'd
yeah,
say
she's
adding
great.
Tony Storm was a sick move. When they added Mercedes Martinez and Tony Storm
True.
the 2 weeks in a row, I was like, okay, yeah, now they're up there now.
Yeah,
You know what I
now they're
mean? Like,
bolstering it for sure.
yeah, before they had like 3 or 4 girls. Now they're getting closer to 10 that are like top notch, like really top notch. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
like terms of wrestling. So, cool. Good for them.
Yeah, man. So as you were alluded to a bit earlier, so we have a Impact pay-per-view this weekend, right?
Yes, we do. Revolution? Is it
Yeah,
resolution?
Revolution, yeah, with the
Oh,
communist-esque like motifs, which is
I
kind of
love it.
like
I love that art. I love the art for it. Yeah, I love it. It's gonna be good too, man. The
yeah.
match
So you want
lineup.
to go over some of the matches, man?
If I
What
remember, there's
matches are
going
you
to
most
be.
interested in? We don't have to go over the whole card.
I wanted to see Eddie Edwards versus Jonathan Gresham, but Gresham apparently hurt himself, and
Oh, that's horrible
he
timing.
yeah, he hurt himself at the pay-per-view at the Battle of the Belts. So I don't know, man. He's pulled out of 2 indie shows. He hasn't pulled out of the Impact pay-per-view yet. So
We'll see
he's
what
been.
happens. Maybe
We'll
he's
see
just
what
resting
happens.
because he wants to be okay for the pay-per-view.
Him
Sometimes
against
guys do that.
If it's him versus Eddie Edwards, man,
That should be
that's going
dope.
to
I wouldn't
be
mind seeing Eddie Edwards win.
that would be great. And then have Eddie Edwards cross over into Ring of Honor.
Yeah. That's one guy who I will always still say deserves to be like higher up in wrestling, like in general in wrestling than he is right now, for sure. We've said that
Yeah,
before.
he's perfect. He's made himself kind of out to be the new Tommy Dreamer
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of ways.
He
You
just
know what
needs
I'm
to build
saying?
up some more
So,
momentum, and he's had a lot of bad luck. He's had a lot of missed opportunities, you could say too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely Eddie's up there. That match is something I'm looking forward to. Josh Alexander versus Moose for the world title. I mean,
Yeah, what a personal issue this one has come down to. I love
yo,
it.
to
It
have
almost reminds me, I mean, not totally to the extent of like Pillman, Austin, but like in that realm.
yeah, the fact that he was able to spear his wife at a
I
show
just
in
love,
Destiny.
and like, I'm glad that like not every wrestling angle did this because it would get way ridiculous way fast. But I love it when people show up at another guy's house. They don't do it often. I
No,
just love
they
that.
did that. They did that. They had him show up at the house, say
Yeah.
hi to the kid, made it uncomfortable between him and Jade, and then show up the next night at the
And he
Don Karloff
spears the wife.
Arena and spear the wife in the ring when the kid is in the ring too, and then have the kids up on top of the wife looking down at her. Mommy, are you okay? Like getting the kids involved. I'm like, oh, this is pushing it. This is awesome.
It's really well
This
done
is
because like anyone who's made movies always says like don't try to work with kids or animals because like they're notoriously hard to work with.
Yeah, because they're unpredictable. You
But
know what
like
I'm
it,
saying?
it adds a lot of realism to it. And I
It's
mean, come on, people know
and
wrestling's not real.
and
But
see, this is what I think is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you've got such a good storyline on a TV station that's getting 140,000 views
yeah,
of the episode. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And then, you could call me bitter, but then you have AEW do something and people scream and yell like it's the first goddamn thing and it's God's greatest gift and fucking thing to be seen on TV. And I'm like, they did it
well,
last
yeah,
week,
and
man.
like
They did it
AEW, like
last
we were saying,
fucking
like
week.
and AEW, like their supporters online will just like say anything they do is like the greatest thing of all time. And
Exactly.
like they don't give a shit about anything else in wrestling.
Exactly. And then when Impact will put on an amazing match like that, I read comments on Instagram and people are just like, Impact shit, this and that. But then, oh, did you see that AEW? And I'm like, I saw the same fucking match. The guys had the same match 2 weeks ago in Impact. You said it was shit, but because they did it in an arena in front of 35,000 people, oh, then it was great. It
That's
was
it.
fucking great. It was the exactly same match. It was the two same fucking guys. Am I taking crazy pills? You
That's
know what I'm
it.
saying? It's it. I find today in the world of wrestling, the problem is the internet and bad dick riding. I'm gonna say dick riding. I have a friend who's a WWE dick rider. Anything WWE does is fucking phenomenal. He talks about WrestleMania like it's the greatest goddamn thing in the fucking world. It's an event that's amazing. Buy bottles of beer. And I'm like, did you look at the card? Did you look at the card? The card sucks. It's WrestleMania, man. So what? Because there's fireworks. Because there's fireworks and the guy
And a
comes
big
out to fucking
screen.
and a
Yeah.
big screen and a bunch of people. That's what makes it so good. It's the
No,
same
exactly.
goddamn match I saw on SmackDown 1 month ago. It's the same match. They're gonna do the same fucking thing. Oh no, but Austin's gonna be there. He's 65 fucking years old.
That's
I don't
it. And
care if he's
he
there.
did an all right. Like, I mean, it was cool, but like you can't get that excited for guys who are 20 years like out of the game.
You know what I'm saying? And then they'll
That's
have
one thing.
Rhino.
WWE, like they have trouble making stars. At least Impact, it's all like all new stars. These guys are, and they're actually making stars. Like the one match I'm really excited to see, of course, for the X Division title Is
Bailey.
it Bailey against Ace Austin against Chris Bay?
No, it's
No, who's the
Trey Miguel.
champion?
Trey Miguel.
Trey Miguel. Yeah, exactly. I don't
See,
know how
all
I got
three
those
of
two
them,
confused.
Impact made all three of them, is basically making all three of them
Yeah,
international wise. Like these guys were
exactly.
known on the indie, but Trey Miguel is now known international wise because he signed with Impact years ago. Same thing with Ace Austin. Nobody knew who the fuck Ace Austin was except for the regional parts where he was, New York and New Jersey and all of that
Yeah.
shit.
No,
Nobody knew the
he made a good name for himself for sure. And
and he
Bailey, yeah,
resigned
he's like the rising star right now. I
in
really hope
Impact.
Bailey wins the title, but I mean, even if he doesn't, it's okay. He's in a good spot. It could be like an ongoing storyline, you know.
Exactly. But see, that's the best example of what a good company with good writers can do. And when they have confidence in their young guys. You know what I'm saying? Like look
Well,
at
one
Chris
thing I
Bay.
find Impact, it's like it feels like they're secure on their TV station. They know that they own their own TV station. The owners of the company
Yeah,
own the TV
exactly.
station. So it feels like they are taking their time with storylines. They're letting it like naturally build up, you know?
Exactly.
And they
Exactly.
don't
And
have
see
pay-per-views every month, like, but they have special events.
special events, but not pay-per-views every month. And but what I like is what I would like them to do is take note. I take note all the time because I watch fucking Impact on Thursday every week. I watch it recorded. I realize what cities they should just not go to. And then there's cities that you should go to. There's some cities they go
Like
to.
they're in
There's,
Philly.
yeah, now they're
Surprisingly,
in
not that
Philly.
great reaction.
I thought it was good. No, this last week, I thought the people it was big. There was a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they should fucking film it every goddamn week in fucking Philly.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I got confused, but yeah, the Philly was good.
It's
Which
Louisville.
crowd?
Louisville.
Yeah, there you go.
Louisville. Louisville was not good. Dallas was
Yeah,
not
the
good.
multiverse for all the crazy matches they had. Maybe it's because it was during the day, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't have a great reaction. But yeah, the Philly was actually good in the ECW arena.
You know what I'm
Why
saying?
not do
Like
shows there all the time?
there in the Hammerstein Ballroom. And
Oh,
Toronto. That's all they should do. Stay up north. I don't give a fuck if your head office is in fucking Nashville. It doesn't work. There's too many fucking companies down south. The NWA's there. Fucking AEW's
NXT,
head office.
AEW is always
NXT.
down there. Yeah.
They're all in Florida. Like fucking stay away from the south. Go to the West Coast and come up north. Stay there. When they go to
Florida
Vegas and
is
stand,
like oversaturated for sure with
you
wrestling.
know what I'm saying? It's fucking oversaturated, and the people are over expecting from the guys all the time. And if you're not breaking your neck in the match, the people aren't making any noise. They're
Like,
just
oh,
like,
I'm just gonna go to see NXT tomorrow. So
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Fuck
yeah.
that. Man.
So let's go over this weekend in local Quebec indie shows. NWC has a big show on Saturday at 7111 Des Érables in Montreal East. Yeah, that
Are
should be a
you
big
going?
show. I'm not sure what I'm doing this weekend, maybe, but I also believe also that IWS also has a show
They do?
downtown.
Oh.
So there's a lot of wrestling going on.
Well, they
Yeah,
started
if I
up.
do go to one, I'll probably end up going to that NWC show. They've been building up some momentum. People should check it out. They had take a big break for the COVID, but
Yeah.
now it's
So it's
back.
good
Like,
that they're back, man.
yeah, I think it's every 2 weeks now, back steady. They have they have their roster of guys that are like constantly there. Sweet Cherry is the commissioner.
Yeah, sweet cherry.
Yeah. And Sonic Seb is one of their champions. Mr. Toronto himself, I think, is their NWC champion. And
Cool.
this week, Brad Alexis is going to be wrestling there.
Oh, nice.
And we'll see what happens with him. He doesn't have an opponent announced yet, so that'll be something
Mystery
interesting.
opponent.
Yeah. That
Is it
venue,
you? Is it you?
no comment yet. It could be you.
Maybe the Magnificent One's coming out of retirement.
Yeah,
No,
that
no.
that place, it's had a lot of wrestling history. There used to be FLQ at that venue, NCW, and now I think maybe some other leagues even, but now it's NWC who's there. So yeah, it's a reasonable price to get in the door. I think it's like max $15. I don't have that information in front of me.
Totally worth
But
it.
yeah, people want to head out to see some live wrestling this weekend. Head out to see NWC. And yeah, man. I'm gonna give so yeah, you gave your thumbs up of the week, Sting. That was a good choice for
Stinger.
sure. I'm gonna give my thumbs up of the week to Hook. Hook
Fucking
getting
Hook.
over. Hope
Yeah.
to see more of him on Dynamite, but you know, I like how they're building him up. We can like take our time with him. We don't even need to see him on the next pay-per-view, you know.
Hey, when was Battle of the Belts? It was last
It
weekend,
was
wasn't
Saturday. Yeah, we
it?
didn't
So
even
we
go
didn't
over
even
that.
talk about that, but I'd like to give match of the week to Samoa Joe versus fuck, I forgot his name again. Suzuki.
Minoru
Suzuki.
Suzuki.
Minoru
Yeah,
Suzuki.
that
Suzuki.
was
Is it?
that was a nuts match, man, for sure.
Man, and let's just say Suzuki really is that tough old mean Japanese guy. Like if you go to the New Japan dojo, don't go the days that he's there.
Yeah, like I gotta go to the tourist attraction today, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Because man, those chops.
No, for sure, man. Brutal, brutal.
If you
Hopefully we see
haven't,
more of them around. And
I'd like to say, if your
yeah,
friends tell you wrestling is fake, go on YouTube and put Samoa Joe versus Minoru Suzuki for the Ring of Honor TV title and watch that match and the number of chop slaps that these guys give to each other. And then give one to your friend next to him and watch him scream and say, hey, wrestling's fake.
that's it. Exactly. The chops,
And that's
man.
what
You can't fake a
that's all I
chop,
got. You can't
unfortunately.
fake a chop. You can't fake a chop.
Yeah, that's it,
You
man.
can't.
So, great talking to you, magnificent one.
As
Uh,
always.
Another great week here on Pro Wrestling Tonight. Thanks, fans, for listening, and we'll be back next week with all your wrestling news. See you then.